I am Doomsvince, and this is day 8 of Spawn Year.
I've been here writing about Spawn for an entire week now, just doing what I'm told, going through the motions, hoping maybe somehow this insanely implausible nightmare isn't really happening to me. But it's day 8 and here I am, writing another Spawn review. Am I really in a Mountain Dew-induced sugar coma? My soul sitting somewhere between my soda-shocked brain and eternity? I've been assuming the Doomsvince I made a deal with is just the part of my psyche that won't let me come to until it feels I've been sufficiently punished for drinking a dozen more Mountain Dew each day than I ought to. After all, Doomsvince is the most pathetic excuse for a supervillain there is. If he was really an evil agent of hell or whatever, I'd figure he could come up with something better than postal fraud and cooking shows while on Earth. But then I read Alan Moore's fascinating and imaginative Spawn number 8, which takes the just-killed child murderer Billy Kincaid on a Dante-esque tour of the spheres of hell. Billy was such a vile, twisted, sadistic excuse for a human being that the Malbolgia himself, the devil Al made the deal with, finally named, wants him in the 8th sphere to get a Spawn costume, revealed now as a symbiotic life form, and to be recruited into Hell's army. It's 8 days in, and these comics, I must admit, are already starting to get to me. What if I really am dead, and this is my hell, to read Spawn comics for all eternity? What if my clock is like Spawn's, and when it runs out, I don't go back to my life? The demon calling itself Doomsvince just owns my soul. Was there a clause about that? Did I miss the fine print? I remember Dante's Inferno from high school. My crime is gluttony. In Dante, that's the 3rd circle. Icy rain for all time. It's guarded by a giant worm. That's it! Doomsvince is a giant worm in disguise, and my reward for finishing Spawn Year is icy rain. Probably icy Mountain Dew from the sky. I've got to get a hold of myself here. No need to panic. Alan Moore's thought-provoking yet disturbing narratives make everybody a little nervous. Moore here finds a clever way to use an established character, and a surprising one I didn't expect to see again, since he's dead, to show a place I was naturally curious about from the first issue. What does hell look like in this universe? And fitting for what I've already seen of this world, it's an updated, ultra-stylized version of Dante's hell, complete with fake robotic angels with jetpacks. Dante used his hell to express his ideas about the society he lived in. So too does Moore. Rather than just being punished based on their most prominent sins, as I hopefully am not being here, the damned in this hell are chosen by different spheres, each with a different interest. Billy joins up with a pack of souls, and each is picked off by one of the spheres as they ascend. One, for instance, is a restaurant owner and drug dealer chosen by the 10th sphere, which beams him up from a lower one to become circuitry in his macro computer. Hell is one giant business, and souls are taken to be cogs in a bigger machine, reflecting the real-world nightmare of losing your individuality as a drone living only to pay the bills as you're programmed by someone else to be what they want you to be. When he sleeps, all Kincaid dreams of is Spawn, that horrible creature who killed him. Of course, there is a small child with their group, and when everyone else is gone, Kincaid does his favorite thing. Tries to mutilate the child until it reveals itself as one of the Malbolgia's hench monsters, the Vindicator. I was glad to see that this innocent 5-year-old hadn't gone to hell. I was terrified to see what twisted sin Moore would invent for her if she deserved to be there. At the end, Kincaid becomes the thing that scares him most, a hellspawn. And as I did when Spawn murdered him, I found myself glad to see him get what he deserved. My reward for witnessing such disturbing ideas and imagery. Plus, I laughed out loud at the fat Billy Kincaid in a Spawn costume. Moore really adds a lot to make the mythos of Spawn something unique, and makes this standalone issue a story rather than just a trip through hell. Though I'm afraid I may be trapped in an elaborate public service announcement about the dangers of overindulging in caffeinated beverages, I'm glad I read this issue. I just hope this year doesn't end with my wearing a giant Mountain Dew bottle. Signed, Captain Logan.